Welcome to Sports Unleashed, the podcast where we discuss how sports affect your everyday lives. Fun fact, the first American football game was in 1869. I'm your host, Gavin, and today, Nate is our co host and Luke is our guest. In this episode, we'll dive into the beauty of sports, so let's get started. Before we jump into our main topic, let's start with a quick icebreaker question. Nate, what's one thing you're looking forward to this week?
I'm looking forward to going to Fusion. I'm looking forward to play basketball at Fusion with some of my friends, working out and getting the work in, and then going home after to play some more basketball.
That sounds exciting. How about you, Lucas?
I'm looking forward to playing football and hanging out with my little brothers. And I'm going on vacation to Japan next week. And I'm going deep sea fishing and hunting for dolphins. I'll let y'all know how I do.
Let's move on to today's main topic, sports. Nate, please give us a brief overview of this topic.
Today we will discuss how sports affect everyday life and how they can affect mental health.
That's interesting. Lucas, what are your thoughts on this topic?
I think sports can affect your everyday life a lot because they take up a lot of time for practice and games and sometimes can make you feel like you never have time to do what you want. For example, yesterday I came home from school, went straight to working out, and then straight to practice. And when I came home, I had no time to hang out with my family or do homework.
I see where you come from. Nate, do you have any additional insights to share?
I completely agree. I barely have enough time to finish my homework after school and after basketball, which causes me to stress over if I'm going to get good grades and be able to play basketball.
Great points. Lucas, what's your perspective on this?
I agree. Sometimes I have no time to just sit down for 5 minutes and chill out and take a second to breathe because of my schedule and my jam is jam packed.
Thank you for all sharing your thoughts on how schedule can affect the time for your homework and time you have to yourself. We will now be moving on to the next segment titled Poll the Audience. In this segment, we'll answer questions from our listeners. Rich from Richmond, Virginia asked, do you think that sports affect your mental life? Lucas, would you like to take this one?
When you start playing badly, you get very mad at yourself, and which is one that can cause you to struggle at stuff like in school and become very depressed and struggle in everyday life activities.
Excellent response. Lucas, do you have anything to add?
I completely agree, but also when you play a lot through the week and you don't have enough time to just hang out with friends and have fun outside of your sports.
Thank you for addressing that question. We have time for one more. Nate, this one is for you. Jeff from Delaware asked, who do you think will win the Super Bowl? What's your take on this?
I think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl because we have a pretty good roster. I'm not going to lie. That roster is looking really, really good. With them just receiving a top running back and probably one of the best wide receiver duos, that is just crazy for the league. That's just going to make us go from down to up. And a new offense coordinator, dude, that can bump our offense up from trash to amazing. Dude, I think the Eagles are the best football team that ever get assembled.
Well said. That wraps up our Q&A segment. It's time for our fun fact of the day. Lucas, what interesting fact do you have for us?
More than 300 NFL players have CTE, which is a disease that turns your brain into mush because of multiple concussions, which can affect your life in a very bad way.
That's fascinating and disgusting. I never knew that. Thank you for sharing. Unfortunately, we reached the end of today's episode. I want to thank Lucas, our guest, for joining me today. Before we go, does anyone have any final thoughts or announcements?
I want to say thank you for having me, and I encourage you guys to stay on top of your mental life and take some time each day to yourself and just work on everything.
Thank you, Lucas, and thank you to all the listeners for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Sports Unleashed. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. Until next time, take care.
Smarties, the best tasting candy. They are a perfect sweet and sour duo. They crumble and melt in your mouth, the ideal texture and taste when you're craving a sweet treat. You can find them at almost every grocery store, including Target, ShopRite, and Walmart. So be a Smartie and buy Smarties today.